Okay, hello Year 5, and this is our pack for week 5. We're looking at SPaG, and this week we are looking at inverted commas, or sometimes known back in my day as speech marks. So, what are inverted commas? They're, like I said, commas that are sometimes called speech marks, and they go before and after direct speech surrounding what is said. And this is where some people sometimes can make mistakes, but we'll get back to that in a bit. Effectively, they're used to show what someone is saying word for word. So it has to be exactly what that person is saying. And this is called direct speech, when we put word for word what the person speaking is saying down. We must not put them around the whole sentence, and that is where people make mistakes, only around what is said. The speech will always start with a capital letter, even if it's in the middle of a sentence, and punctuation such as question marks, full stops and exclamation marks must go inside the speech marks. They're hugged inside the speech marks. So here's an example. "I am hungry," he complained. Now, like we said, it's only going around what has been said, what is direct speech. I am hungry. And our comma is inside the speech marks. The reason that is because he didn't say he complained. If that was me saying it, and I said to you, I am hungry, I'm not going to say, I am hungry, he complained. I'm just going to say I am hungry. So that's the only bit that needs the speech marks. If another character or person replies, you need to use another set of inverted commas. So, for example, "What's for tea?" he asked. "A delicious salad," his mum replied. So it's a different speaker, different set of inverted commas. Also, like we said on the previous slide, you don't necessarily have to have the speech at the start of a sentence. It might go at the end of a sentence. Now, even if it's towards the end of a sentence and there's not been a full stop, when it's opening new speech, you need to put in a capital letter. So, for instance, Mr. Rolland walked into the classroom. "Hello everyone." Now, that's not the end of a sentence after classroom. It's only a comma, it's not a full stop. But we need a capital H for hello because it's the opening of speech. So, common mistakes when using inverted commas. People will often put the speech marks after the reporting clause. Now, the reporting clauses might be something like asked Mr. Rolland, said Miss Hall, shouted Miss Price, something like that. That is reporting who's said it. And in our example here, "What time is dinner?" asked Mr. Rolland. We have the speech marks or inverted commas after Mr. Rolland. Now, if I'm asking somebody what time dinner is, I would say, "What time is dinner?" I would not say, "What time is dinner?" asked Mr. Rolland, because that would sound silly. So when you're not sure, say it in your head as if that was you saying it. And I know that I would not say myself, "asked Mr. Rolland." So I know that that cannot be right, and that it is punctuated wrong, and the inverted commas should be after the question mark after dinner. So, I want you now to pause the video on this slide and have a go at putting in the inverted commas in the correct place. We've got 3 sentences here. "What a goal," shouted Mr. Combe. Miss Hall entered her kitchen. "Hello, Ruby," she shouted. "I can't believe I'm making a video on SPaG," Mr. Rolland said. "Normally I would make a math video," he added. So I want you to pause your videos here and have a go. Okay, let's look at the answers. So, straight away, for "what a goal," shouted Mr. Combe. We are opening speech with "what a goal," so our inverted commas would go before "what" and after the exclamation mark after goal, because he's shouting it. Miss Hall entered her kitchen. Hello, Ruby, she shouted. So our inverted commas would be before hello and after the exclamation mark after Ruby. And here's an example of using the capital letter, like we said, when there hasn't been a full stop before, but because we are opening speech. Now we've got an example of some split speech. We open the inverted commas just before I. So I can't believe I am making a video on SPaG, and then put the next lot of inverted commas in after the comma that's after SPaG. Mr. Rollins said. Now, Mr. Rollins said does not need to be in inverted commas, because if I'm saying I can't believe I'm making a video on SPaG, normally I'll make a maths video. I wouldn't say I can't believe I'm making a video on SPaG, Mr. Rollins said. Normally I would make a maths video, he added. I would not say Mr. Rollins said and he added. So the second lot would then, of inverted commas, would then go before normally and after the comma that's after video. So that was kind of an example of split speech, and that's where you need to be really careful when we're using split speech. Sometimes a sentence will contain split speech, and this is where the quoted sentence is split into two parts that are wrapped around the verb of speaking. So the verb of speaking here is shouted the Viking. So, I challenge you, shouted the Viking, to a battle. Now, sometimes you might think, okay, my inverted commas go before the I, which is correct, and then finish after the full stop after battle. But then you are saying, I challenge you, shouted the Viking. Now, if you're the Viking, are you going to say, I challenge you, shouted the Viking, to a battle? No, you're not. You're going to say, I challenge you to a battle. So, you need to open your inverted commas for the I and close them after the exclamation mark that is after you. Then open them again, say, to a battle.